Good morning, YouTube and my Xenoverse. It's your boy SSG Coop, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts about All Elite Wrestling Dynamite. That happens in about, 11, 10 hours from now, live on TNT. If you are not a fan of AEW, do not support AEW. If you're like these technical work rate production faggots who don't support any type of form of gig wrestling, you can easily just click off of this video right now. But I'm just going to run down this little match card and tell you what I think should happen and why it should happen. Directly out of the gate, we get a match where you get no opening promos, no corny little segments. We're going straight into action. You're getting Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara. Okay, name right? In an opening match. This should be a really fun match. They had a little thing about Sammy Guevara on the All Elite Wrestling's YouTube channel. He wanted to say like he wants to prove himself. He wants to prove himself. And I guess what better way to prove himself against one of the head executives of the company. And I don't expect to see Cody Rhodes after this match is over, because I'm pretty sure he's going in the back with the production squad, got the headset on right there with Tony Khan. But either way, I would say I'm 50-50 on this, because Cody Rhodes is getting a world championship opportunity at Chris Jericho at their Full Gear show. And I don't want to say you have to book your contenders to look formidable and look strong, but right about now, Cody really doesn't need that win, but at the same time, I think they said if he loses, he'll give up his championship opportunity, because you got to remember, Cody Rhodes is, I want to say, he's 3-1. I want to say about 3-1. In singles competition, he beat Shawn Spears at All Out. He beat Dustin at Double or Nothing. Or he's probably, no, I think he's about 2-1. Because I don't know, I believe they did lose the match against the Young Bucks at Fyter Fest. Oh no, was it Fyter Fest or Fight for the Fallen? One of them two damn events. But the match with Darby Allin, that was obviously a no-fall finish, so that doesn't count. I don't know if that counts for his record or against it. But so if he loses, does Sammy Guevara get this title opportunity? But if somebody else, that's the only thing I'm trying to figure out. If Cody Rhodes loses to Sammy Guevara, will he lose his opportunity? Who gains that? I mean, I think this is the first time Sammy Guevara is competing in a one-on-one basis on All Elite Wrestling programming, because he didn't show up at any of the 4 pay-per-views they've had. So I'm going with Sammy Guevara to win, because that actually makes him look a little credible, beating one of the top executives. Because Cody really doesn't need this win, to be completely honest. He does not need this win. I personally didn't think he needed the win at All Out against Shawn Spears. I don't think he needs that. I think Shawn Spears should have went over, because to make himself look like a credible heel and a threat to whoever. It was a fun match. I'm gonna say Cody Rhodes, his work rate has went up that much higher since leaving WWE. He has gotten that much better, and I'm very for Cody Rhodes in this whole All Elite Wrestling thing. Eventually, he will be All Elite Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, but it's not going to be yet. Even if he does beat Sammy Guevara, he's not going to beat Chris Jericho. He's not. Next, we got this one. We got Nyla Rose versus Riho to crown the first ever AEW Women's World Champion. Now, they've put a lot. Now here I have some problems with this in general. I have seen Nyla Rose perform in numerous matches across the Indies. Not saying that she's bad or she's good. She's there. She's gotten better, and they put a lot of stock in her, telling her story, how she made the transition from man to female, which I personally don't give a damn about, but I can see right now a few fans will. And another thing that bothers me, Rio was chosen out of the majority of the AEW women's roster to get this opportunity instead of, I don't know, a Dr. Britt Baker, who one is the first woman signee performer that you you had high hopes on. She didn't win the Battle Royal at All Out because I guess they're gonna have her feuding with B Priestley. I guess when she gets past B Priestley, then she'll probably get an eventual title match. If this match has that outcome that I'm thinking, that I hope it doesn't. I mean, at Fyter Fest, Rio seemed pretty over with the fans. I mean, she's young. I think she's only, 21, and it's out of 21, 13 years of her life she's been wrestling. I'm like, God damn, this girl was in the ring at 8. I'm like, so I'm like, okay, she won at Fyter Fest at that triple threat match. I think her and Hikaru Shida were on the same team, and they won that 6-woman tag team match at Double or Nothing. And was she a flag for the Fallen? And who won that match? Yeah, I want to say that was Britt Baker and Riho that won that. Yeah, it was Britt Baker and Riho that won that tag team match at Fight for the Fallen in the pre-show match. And she beat Hikaru Shida, so she's 4 for 4 right now. So now when I see about it, it kind of makes sense that she should get the title opportunity because she's 4-0. She's 4-0. Nyla Rose took the first fall. She took the first one of the first L's. Britt Baker won the first triple threat at Double or Nothing. So I'm trying to figure this whole thing out. And Nyla Rose, the only thing she's won is that Battle Royal, which I guess is audibly you just get boosted up. Now my whole problem is I'm talking specifically to the executives of AEW, Khan, the nameless president. I can't say your name on this video. Everybody, do you not believe AEW is going to receive major backlash if Nyla Rose becomes the inaugural women's champion? I mean, it's bad enough they give her enough shit on social media. Come on, if this is a man shouldn't be competing in the women's division, blah, blah, blah. They're going to say the same thing. A man won the women's championship. It's going to receive a lot of backlash, and that's actually, and I can see this happening. I see this happening right now. But the whole thing with this match is not going to be better than the other women's match that they're having tonight on NXT with Candice LeRae versus Shayna Baszler. Because right now, if you're a wrestling fan, you got to think, why should you give a hot damn about Nyla Rose versus Rio over a Candice LeRae versus Shayna Baszler? Shayna Baszler is one of the most who is the most dominant women's champion in the entire WWE. And Candice LeRae, Johnny Wrestling's wife, the one who I believe should actually win that championship. But this is all I'm saying. Kenny Omega had vouched for Nyla Rose to get into AEW, and yes, it was a really sentimental story about how she went through that transition and she just wants to be herself. But I personally think this will be a bad look. People are going to shit on this heavy if Nyla Rose wins the AEW World Women's Championship tonight. Can we now if we get a fuck finish, then I'm fine. We get a fuck finish, I'm fine. Who knows? Somebody could interfere. Who knows? Somebody could just ruin the whole World Championship match. But personally, I think this should be Britt Baker in this scenario. But wins and losses matter. And right about now, Rio has 4 wins, making her she has the most wins of the whole women's roster. And that's one thing I also want to talk about. AEW's women's roster is probably the weakest women's roster of the entire world of the wrestling landscape. Impact Wrestling has a fantastic women's roster. NXT has a great women's roster. They have no star power in that women's roster. I mean, where's their star? Who's their star at that women's division? I mean, Britt Baker is supposed to be a main priority, and I don't think she wants to get over based off affiliation because she's Adam Cole's girlfriend. I know she doesn't want that. Brandy Rose is god awful, and she's an executive. She don't need to be in a top spot in the women's division. Allie's mediocre. We really haven't seen much of Penelope Ford outside of the Battle Royal, and she's part of Joey Janela's act. Right about now, even though I like them, the fans don't seem to give a shit about the Japanese girl there. I love Hikaru Shida. I think she is great. Some of the best in-ring psychology I've seen in a women's performer ever. But they really don't have any stars like that to put out there like that. This is why I'm like, I think they dropped the ball when they should have grabbed Tennille Dashwood instantly. They should have grabbed her instantly. They should have offered Impact buku money to buy Tessa Blanchard out of her contract. Tessa Blanchard in AEW, that's all you need. All eyes are already on her. That would have been a perfect candidate to actually give that women's division a little bit meaning and some substance in it. Because right about now, that women's division is piss poor. It's just my opinion. You can don't at me. It's just my opinion from what I'm seeing. I mean, what else they got? Sadie Gibbs. You know, I mean, it's really no big names in that women's division that's actually gonna get people to care about that part of it. The tag team division, they have the best tag team roster on the planet, and I see they cherish tag team wrestling on all their pay-per-view shows. AEW has had at least about 3, maybe 4 tag team matches on those shows. But me, I want to go with Rio, but some tell me because they put all that effort into telling Nyla Rose's story, she's going to get that championship, and there's going to be a lot of backlash on social media about it. Prepare for the fuckery. Next, we got Brian Cutler and MJF. MJF's first singles match as an AEW superstar. MJF is hilarious. I think the man plays his role A1. He's the perfect prick heel. He's like a more edgier Miz without the flamboyant Hollywood style. I mean, yeah, he's really snobby, and he has the whole rich guy that comes out with his little scarf and his nice $3,000, $5,000 suits, whatever the hell they are. And right now, I like the fact that he's playing Cody. They're playing somewhat of a second fiddle to Cody Rhodes. Like, no, he ain't no babyface, because there's gonna be a point in time where he's gonna stab Cody Rhodes in the back and show his true colors. It could be at the Full Gear pay-per-view when he fights Jericho. It could be, but MJF, he is incredible. Every time he has an interview, he's in character. He's just such a prick heel, and I see some big things happening for him. I want to say right now, he's probably, if you want to talk about a mid-card, he's definitely going to be a high mid-card player until they want to push him up. That's one thing AEW also doesn't have. Doesn't have a solid mid-card. I mean, if you want to put Sammy Guevara in there, MJF, this Brandon Cutler guy, who also, I believe, has 2 contracts as an in-ring performer and a backstage personality in production. So he's doing double duty, and he's going to get paid. You got Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, Michael Nakazawa, Joey Janela. I mean, they need to work on that mid-card, too. And then work on that mid-card. I'm going to go with MJF to get this win, because it'd be nice to actually see him get a win. I'm surprised I should just see him get a win, you know. It kind of goes with the whole Cody and Sammy Guevara type of vibe. So if Cody Rhodes loses his I guess his apprentice, because MJF calls Cody Rhodes his mentor and stuff like that. So I think he should actually get this win over Brandon Cutler. You know, just to give him a little something. Just to give him a little something. And then we got Adam Hangman Page versus Pac. The Bastard Pac. These two were originally supposed to fight at Double or Nothing. They had a match. They had their match before that. I don't even remember who won. I just remember the match was about 18 minutes long. I can't remember who won that match. And when they decided to pull Pac out of Double or Nothing, they had the Battle Royal. Adam Hangman Page won that Battle Royal. Faced Chris Jericho at All Out. Lost. Chris Jericho had a little bit of the bubbly and became the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So I don't know if Hangman Page goes over, will this put him back in title contention? But then let's put him back because he beat Pac, who beat Kenny Omega, and their great match at All Out. Right now, Kenny Omega's been on a slight losing streak. He really doesn't need to win at this point right now, because right now he's also an executive, so he really doesn't need. Once again, he doesn't need it. Like most of these Kenny Omega matches, he doesn't need to win. But I know this match should be fun. But I'm expecting Pac to go on. I've been pro Pac. I've been pro Neville ever since his NXT days back in 2014. The man is absolutely incredible. WWE, you dropped the ball with that guy. That guy is incredible. And after you did get, I'll give y'all one thing. Y'all gave him the character he is now. When he was that king of the cruiserweights and he had that heel turn and he got over. This is where that's where it began. He never lost that look. He never lost that look, and he never lost his edge. And I like the fact that he's now utilizing a lot more moves. Look at the move he used to put Kenny Omega down. He used the red arrow to rings of Saturn. This man put him in the brutalizer. Kenny Omega didn't tell. He choked that man out. So I'm going with Pac to win, and I don't know if whoever wins this will be in talks of title contention, but I'm going with Pac. Just because I'm very pro Pac. Adam Hangman Page, he still has a way to go. He's still not as over as you think, and doesn't have that really star power. Everyone knows who Pac is. Everyone knows where he came from. Then we got our main event. We got Kenny Omega and the Bucks, the Elite, taking on the AEW World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho, and they just announced it today like we didn't fucking know who it was going to be. Ortiz and Santana, formerly known as LAX. Right about now, the Elite don't need this win. LAX came out at the end of the ladder match at All Out and brutalized both teams. And they are definitely one of the best tag teams on the planet. And I wouldn't say like they were so good in Impact and in House of Glory and all across the world where they perform that Impact, I see why they decided to leave Impact and join AEW. I see why, because this is where the top talent is in the tag team division. The LAX versus the Lucha Bros, the LAX versus Jurassic Express. There's a lot of big matches they could have under this promotion, and they got Chris Jericho. And right about now, I will still book Chris Jericho to look strong as champion. You can't give him a loss. You can't give LAX a loss. The Bucks and Omega can take a loss. You know, the Bucks and Omega been taking losses. Come on now, it's like you got to make this group look strong. Got to make them look stronger. Overall, I think this will be. I'm thinking it's going to be, card-wise, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good first episode. They pull in just 1 million viewers. That's a success. That's a success. I'm very for All Elite Wrestling, but I am also going to be critical of All Elite Wrestling. I do. If my boys at the Square Circle Psycho Battle, they put up a poll and they put up a video. Who has the better roster, AEW or NXT? That's a no-brainer. AEW is lacking in 2 departments, but I will say this. They have been hiding some of their talent. They've only shown about maybe 30-40% of their active roster. Where are the rest of these guys and girls at? Where are they at? Just really start to show your actual talent that you have signed there. Because right now, from what they're showing on these pay-per-view shows, it looks like they have no mid-card. The women's division is piss-poor terrible. And that's not their fault. They can still build. I wouldn't say they're starting this show off a little too early because it is some things they are lacking. And then it's like when Kenny Omega had that little shoot promo, whatever it was, and he was talking about AEW has real stars and NXT is developmental. I was like, he sounds like a dumbass, because I'm like, doesn't he know that most of the people that are over in NXT came from the same place he did? They've wrestled over there in New Japan Pro Wrestling. They've wrestled over there at Ring of Honor. But then I'm like, stars? What stars? What stars does AEW have outside of the executives? Cody, the Bucks, Omega, Chris Jericho, John Moxley, who is scheduled to make an appearance here. We might get some prizes on this show, too. That's one thing I think about this. I'm definitely sure this is going to be a lot better than that tragedy that was Monday Night Raw. That was just god-awful. Outside of the first hour, the show just went to complete dog shit. But what stars does AEW have that people are really invested in outside of them? Pac, that's about it. Phenomenal tag team division. Definitely give them that. Phenomenal tag team division. We got SCU, Private Party, the Dark Order, who still haven't gotten over, but they are a very good tag team. Jurassic Express, who is right now is the most oldest thing in AEW. I'm like, why aren't they on the first episode? But the second episode is when the tag team tournament starts, and that is going to be some of the best tag team wrestling we're going to see this year. That's going to be absolutely incredible. It's going to be great. The women's division don't got no stars, none whatsoever. That's like, why they didn't get to Neil Dashwood and Tessa Blanchard? Those are stars. Most of these girls are independent workers, and the Japanese girls, like I said, the fans don't give a damn about them, but I do, because they're explosive. They're explosive, and they have good in-ring psychology. They can botch and play it off like it's nothing, because they're that good at in-ring psychology. Awesome Kong and Asha Kong ain't really gonna factor into anything. They're just there as a veteran role. They probably working behind the scenes or something too. Especially Awesome Kong, because I don't think she can really take that many bumps in certain matches due to injuries and stuff like that. The woman's had a hell of a wrestling career. But outside of the people I named, which are your whole main event card, you really don't have that many stars, as you call it. You got, and then you look at who NXT has and the reputation that these guys have. You got Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era, the Velveteen Dream, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa when he comes back. You got Damian Priest, Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, Matt Riddle. They have a great main roster, a great main event, great mid card. The only thing they lacking is a tag team division. And it's because most of their tag team divisions got called up to the main roster. That's the whole thing. They missing a tag team division. Just imagine after this draft that's supposed to happen, and they send some people back to NXT. Imagine I wouldn't mind, like right about now, if I knew this, if I was Triple H and I was in control of NXT, I would have kept Ricochet down in NXT because he's a notable name. I would have kept Aleister Black in there because he was a big draw. I would have kept the Viking War Raider experience down there. Who was I? If I had to choose between Asuka and Kairi Sane back there, because both of them can literally just factor into anything in that women's division. I would actually wait, because right about now it would have been the perfect time to send Kairi Sane back to NXT if Io Shirai was the champion at this time and still went through this dark phase. Kairi Sane, the story tells itself. Kairi Sane comes back to NXT to find her best friend in this I don't care mood, and she's more vicious and ruthless, and it tells itself. Asuka's story tells itself. She's still the NXT Women's Champion because she never lost it. She never lost it, and she can factor right in. She still has not been beaten under the gold and black banner that is NXT. It tells itself. It tells you their women's division is on point, but it's just the NXT tag team division is lacking. So you put 3 out of 4 for NXT, and you got 2 out of 4 for AEW. Who has the better roster? And you got to put on both ends. We still haven't seen people from neither we haven't really seen much of. NXT still has talent we haven't seen on TV yet. Like, where's Rick Buggs? What's my man's name? Dexter Loomis, Angel Garza. They got Pete Dunne down there. Pete Dunne, Walter, Kushida, Tony Storm, Rhea Ripley. If you combine NXT and NXT UK, that's over with. Now who has the better roster? It's NXT UK and none but extension of NXT. Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. Like, who has the better roster? AEW still has a lot of work to do before they can actually call this a war or something like that. It may be a war to some people. Me, it's just good. It's a perfect time to be a professional wrestling fan in this fall time. Now, look at your schedule that you have if you really watch wrestling like that. Monday Night Raw, who cares? Tuesday, you're going to have Impact Wrestling. I like Impact Wrestling. They actually have a very underrated roster, but they have a really good roster of people on it. Wednesdays, you got AEW Dynamite and NXT. Thursday, NXT UK. Friday, SmackDown. Saturday, you're going to have New Japan and Wild Superheroes. On certain occasions, you'll have that takeover, or you might have that New Japan event. Sundays is pay-per-views. Sundays are pay-per-views. I don't know if AEW is going to keep their pay-per-views on Saturdays or moving to Sundays, but hey, it's a very good time to be a professional wrestling fan. Those shows right there really are going to make any other promotion just seem less. Like MLW, Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is dead. Ring of Honor is dead. Like, it's actually been dead to me for a while. And they have some great talent down there. Like I'm still waiting to see what Marty Scurll's gonna do. Where's Marty Scurll gonna go? Is he gonna go to WWE, get paid, live down there in Orlando with his girlfriend Deonna Purrazzo, or is he gonna go, join his friends in Jacksonville, become elite? I think he will definitely mesh a little bit better over there, because I see AEW, NXT, they might book him incredibly once that main roster calls get called up. You gotta remember, Marty Scurll ain't no heavyweight. I think he only like 195. That's cruiserweight status. Not saying he can't contend with heavyweights, because look at the match he had with Okada at All In. The man can definitely hang. So we gotta wait to see what he does. I think he would be a great addition to AEW. Bring the villain. Talks that Jack Swagger might wants to join AEW. I never thought he would go back to professional wrestling. I thought he's having a great time being a fighter in the mixed martial arts department. And then everybody's big talk. CM Punk. Where's CM Punk? Oh, he had a tryout. If he had a tryout, what makes you think WWE is not going to sign him? Just because of some backlash from about 6 years ago? They'll sign him just to make sure AEW don't get him. Tony Khan even said he definitely wanted CM Punk. He wanted to build his roster around CM Punk. So it's in the vein. It's like, and just imagine CM Punk. He can be a part-time performer. He can be in the back somewhere. It's whoever. I don't know if it's a money thing or where he sees it at. But where he said, like, a lot of people at All Out respecting CM Punk to be there because he was at StarCast. He never showed up. But I think if CM Punk does sign with AEW, it's gonna break the internet. CM Punk during his WWE tenure, it took a while for him to get me to like this guy, even though I think, like, during his early ECW days, he had some really, really good matches with John Morrison on the ECW Championship when he first got brought up to Rock. These were very underrated matches. Him and MVP had a series of matches, and I actually think they complemented each other very well. Most of these matches were always ending in no contest. I'm like, wow. And then it was like he just got better. Already knew the guy could move in the ring, he could sell. But once he got that microphone, he became literally the best promo in the WWE around that time. And so I don't care where he goes as long as he's happy, he's paid, and he's healthy. But excuse me, Dynamite's up tonight, and we're gonna see what goes down. We're gonna see what goes down. I can't see what the price of what's John Moxley gonna do. What's John Moxley gonna do? They said he's scheduled to be there. Does he come out and ruin the match and ruin the main event by attacking Kenny Omega, by doing something to distract him, and Ortiz, Santana, and Chris Jericho get the win? Because their match was supposed to happen at All Out, and it never did due to Moxley having an elbow injury. I hope he's well, and I still am waiting for that match. That's definitely going to be a brawl fest. But anyways, I might do an actual review of the show. It might not be up until late. I'm going to watch NXT most likely tomorrow or probably later in that evening if I'm still awake. But I definitely want to give you my opinion on what I see at AEW Dynamite on their first episode. I might just live stream my reactions to it when I decide to watch it. Because I don't know if I'm going to watch right now. Because I already got it set to record anyway, so I'm going to watch it regardless. It is inevitable. But anyway, y'all, I'm SSG Cool. I'm actually about to do another video because these trolls on YouTube, they really piss me off about